Hey everyone, Al Fragnoli, League of Leaders. We got a very special guest on with us, a returning guest, John Burt from Intelligent Leadership Executive Coaching. John, thanks so much for coming on with us. We truly appreciate it.
Oh, Al, thank you so much. This is always great to talk to you, and I love talking about leadership. So thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I absolutely love talking about leadership as well. So I'm excited to talk to you a little bit about your journey through ILEC. So why don't we start off, maybe share a little bit about your background and then kind of why you got involved about 2 years ago now with ILEC.
Right. Well, as you mentioned, 2 years ago, I became an executive coach for ILEC, and I've been working. My in part of my role with all the jobs that I've had has been as a coach, as a mentor, as a sponsor for a lot of different executives and talent that's come up through the organizations that I've worked for. I spent 18 years at IBM as a sales and account executive for their organization, and I was a partner with PricewaterhouseCoopers in the management consulting group before that. So I've really always enjoyed the development of people, and ILEC gives me the freedom to do that and work directly with emerging leaders, mid career leaders and senior leaders in the development of their careers and become more impactful.
That's awesome, John. You mentioned really enjoying, loving that development of leaders. That's so impactful in what we do as leadership coaches, right? And that's probably one of the most rewarding things that we can have. The most rewarding piece out there is really seeing that development when we're working with a client go from one
Absolutely.
point to that next point in their career. So that's fantastic. John, a two-part question here. Why don't we kind of chat for a minute about what it is you love most about ILEC, and then maybe on top of that, share one of the most memorable moments that you've had in your 2 year journey so far with ILEC.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I have to tell you, as I mentioned, my career so far, and I say so far, but it's been about development of people. I love helping people. I love being a mentor to people. Growing up and throughout my career, I've had some really terrific people who have helped me along the way, and and I just it's part of what I do, and I so appreciate everything, all the help that I've gotten. And I just want to be as inspirational and as helpful as some of the people that helped me early on and kind of get to where I was in my career. It just you need those sponsors, those mentors and coaches to help you get insights about things that you don't necessarily you may not have that experience yet, or you may have the experience but you might not have the right perspective on things. And sometimes just having that sounding board, that coach to be able to talk those things through, it was helpful to me in my career. It really helped to open some doors and open my eyes to different things. So being able to do that now it is truly rewarding. With regard to ILEC, when I finally realized that I wanted to be a coach, right? I wanted to be an executive coach or leadership coach. I looked at a number of different, companies or platforms to get involved in. And what I found with ILEC, Al, and I'm sure with the work that you've done in coaching, that just the ILEC philosophy, starting with the philosophy of leadership comes from an inner core, your character, values, and beliefs, and it's about the mindsets you have as a leader and how all of that together, that inner core influences the way that you interact with people, that your bosses, your peers, your employees. There's so much of that just when I started to study the Matone philosophy, I said, wow, he really gets it, and it's really something that I could get on board with. ILEC is great brand. It's a growing brand. It's a new franchise, but I love it. I'm super inspired by what I'm doing.
That's wonderful, John. You shared a couple of things that really stuck out to me. The first thing is finding that mentor. I think that's so critical in any industry
Yeah.
that we're involved in. You got to find a mentor, and if you don't have a mentor, you're going to have a really, really challenging time reaching your full potential and being the leader that we're all meant to be. So I love that you mentioned that. You talked about ILEC and what stands out and separates them from other organizations in regards to leadership is that inner core that John Matone so heavily focuses on. And I couldn't agree with you more on that. A lot of times as people, we don't understand why we're doing the things we're doing. And when we take time to reflect and really dive in, everything that we do stems from our beliefs, our values, and everything that we believe and feel inside of us that translates to that outer core. So I'm really happy that you mentioned that, brought that up. So impactful. I know you're doing wonderful things as a coach out there. You're helping build the next generation of leaders and really helping to provide value to those that are looking to advance their careers and do great things in their organization. John, why don't you take a quick moment here and just share with our viewers, if they want to get in touch with you to provide some help through leadership coaching, what's the best way that they can contact you?
Well, there's a couple of different ways. I'll make it simple. My email address is jburt at intelligentleadershipec.com. My phone number is 720-235-9370. So those are the easy ways. Once we get into contact, we'll get to know each other a little bit better, understand what your what your challenges are, maybe where you're getting stuck or where you'd like to improve. We'll work on that together. So please reach out, give me a call. I'd love to chat more with you.
Perfect. John, thank you so much again. We always love chatting leadership with you. We were excited to learn a little bit more about your journey, why you're involved with ILEC, and why you do what you do. So thank you so much for sharing that. We truly appreciate you taking the time to talk with us.
Oh, well, thank you, Al. Appreciate it.